Thank you, Sir Eric. To discuss the Week 6 lesson for Mathematics 9 is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics at Rizal Technological University. She is currently taking Masters of Arts in Mathematics Education at Rizal Technological University. Please welcome Mrs. Mary Grace V. Manzo.
Good day, Batang Madunong. Once again, I'm Mary Grace V. Manzo, Mathematics Teacher 1 from Isaac Lopez Integrated School. My task is to discuss Quarter 2, Module 6, Lesson for Week 6. For Week 6, we will have 2 lessons. So we have Operations on Radicals and Radicals Equations. So here are the objectives. Number 1, performs operations on radical expressions. Number 2, solves equations involving radical expressions. And for number 3, solves problems involving radicals. So for the first lesson on operations on radicals, I will be discussing how to add radicals by using addition property of radicals, how to subtract radicals using subtraction property of radicals, how to multiply radicals using the product law of radicals, and how to divide radicals using the quotient law of radicals. Before we proceed on operations on radicals, let us first differentiate similar radicals from dissimilar radicals. So when do we say that radicals are similar, and when do we say that radicals are dissimilar? Similar radicals are radicals of the same order or indices and the same radicand. And also, similar radicals can be combined into a single radical by the use of distributive property. Let's have an example para mas malinaw. So we have square root of 3, 8, square root of 3, negative 5, square root of 3, square root of 3 over 2. As you can see, this set of radicals has the same index, which is invisible 2 for the square root, and the same radicand, which is 3. Another set of similar radicals, we have cube root of 2x, negative 5, cube root of 2x, 4y, cube root of 2x, and negative 7z, cube root of 2x. Again, this set of radicals has the same index, which is 3, and the same radicand, which is 2x. What about the similar radicals? The similar radicals are radicals of different indices and different radicands. Example, we have square root of 7, fifth root of 12, cube root of 7, square root of 5, square root of 6 over 3. As you can see, the given radicals have different indices and different radicands. Another set of the similar radicals, we have square root of 2x, cube root of 2x, fourth root of 2x. What have you noticed with these given radicals? Yes, the given radicals have the same radicands, but the indices are different. So still, these radicals are dissimilar radicals. So now let's proceed to the first operations on radicals, which is addition of radicals. In adding radicals, we will use addition property of radicals. And addition property of radicals states that p nth root of a plus q nth root of a is equal to the sum of p and q times nth root of a. Let us discuss the examples given on your module. Directions perform the given operations. Let's have number 1. Square root of 2 minus square root of 11 plus 6 square root of 2 plus 4 square root of 11. Ang una natin gagawin, i-group natin ang similar radicals. So we have, for the first set of similar radicals, we have square root of 2 and positive 6 square root of 2. For the second set of similar radicals, we have negative square root of 11 and positive 4 square root of 11. Bakit plus sign ang nakalagay dito or positive? Kasi positive times negative equals negative. Then, we will apply the addition property of radicals. I-add lang natin ang coefficients ng bawat radicals. So, yung invisible 1 here represents P, the invisible 2 here represents N, and 2 represents A, plus 6 represents Q, the invisible 2 here represents N, and 2 represents A. So we have 1 plus 6 equals 7, then affix or copy the common radicals which is square root of 2. Punta naman tayo sa second set of similar radicals. So we have negative 1 plus 4 equals positive 3. Then copy or affix the common radicals which is square root of 11. So ang final answer here ay 7 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 11. Hindi na natin pwede i-combine kasi dissimilar radicals na. For number 2, we have square root of 8 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 50 plus square root of 48. As you can see, the given radicals can be factored. So for 8, we can factor this as the product of 4 and 2. 4 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 8 with 0 remainder. Plus, for 12, we have 4 and 3. 4 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 12 with 0 remainder. Plus, for 50, we have the product of 25 and 2. 25 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 50 with 0 remainder. And for 48, we have the product of 16 and 3. 16 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 48. Next, we will get the square root of all the perfect square factors, and all the non-perfect square factors will remain inside the radical sign. So we have square root of 4 is 2. 2 will remain inside the radical sign, plus square root of 4 is 2. 3 will remain inside the radical sign, plus square root of 25 is 5. 2 will remain inside the radical sign, plus square root of 16 is 4. 3 will remain inside the radical sign. Then, i-group natin lahat ng similar radicals. So we have 2 square root of 2 and positive 5 square root of 2. Then another one, we have positive 2 square root of 3 and positive 4 square root of 3. Then, let's apply the addition property of radicals. So we have 2 plus 5 is 7. Then, copy or affix the common radicals, which is square root of 2. Then, for the second set of similar radicals, we have positive 2 plus positive 4 is positive 6. Then, affix or copy the common radicand which is square root of 3. Then, the final answer is 7 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 3. The second operation on radicals is subtraction of radicals. In subtracting radicals, we will use subtraction property of radicals. and it states that P raised to n root of A minus Q raised to n root of A is equal to the difference of P and Q times the n root of A. So let's have the example on your module. So directions perform the given operations. So we have square root of 72 minus the square root of 18 minus the square root of 2. Again, we need to inspect each radicand if it's still factorable. In this case, radicand 72 and radicand 18 are factorable. So for radicand 72, the factors are 36 and 2. And for radicand 18, the factors are 9 and 2. Again, 36 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 72 with 0 remainder. Same then sa 9. 9 is the highest perfect square that you can divide to 18 with 0 remainder. And next, copy negative square root of 2. Next, all the perfect square factors will be removed from the radical sign and all non-perfect factor will remain inside the radical sign. So we have square root of 36 is 6, then 2, which is non-perfect square factor of 72 will remain inside the radical sign, minus square root of 9 is 3. Then 2 will remain inside the radical sign. Then copy negative square root of 2. As you can see, the radicals are now similar. Then perform the operation. So let's copy first or pagsamasamahin natin yung coefficients. So 6, negative 3, and negative 1. Then copy the common radical, which is square root of 2. Next, 6 minus 3 minus 1 will give us 2. Then copy the common radical, which is square root of 2. So the final answer is 2 square root of 2. For number 2, we have cube root of negative 16 minus the cube root of negative 128 minus the cube root of negative 2. Again, inspect if the given radicands can be factored out. In this case, all the given radicands can be factored out. For negative 16, the factors are negative 8 and 2. Negative 8 is the highest perfect cube that you can divide to negative 16 with 0 remainder. And for negative 128, the factors are negative 64 and 2. Negative 64 is the highest perfect cube that you can divide to negative 128 with 0 remainder. And for negative 2, we have the product of negative 1 and 2. Next, remove all the perfect cube factors from the radical sign and all the non-perfect cube factors will remain inside the radical sign. Cube root of negative 8 will give us negative 2. Then 2 will remain inside the radical sign. Cube root of negative 64 is negative 4 times negative will give us positive 4. 2 will remain inside the radical sign. Cube root of negative 1 is negative 1 times negative will give us positive 1. Then 2 will remain inside the radical sign. Then, as you can see, our obtained radicals are similar. Then, apply the subtraction property of radicals in performing the operations. So we have negative 2 plus 4 plus 1 will give us positive 3 or 3. Then affix or copy the common radical, which is cube root of 2. So the answer is 3 cube root of 2. So the third operation on radicals is multiplication of radicals. And to multiply radicals, we will use the product of radicals. For any real numbers a and b and integer n is greater than 1. If n is even, a is greater than 0 and b is also greater than 0. Nth root of a times nth root of b is equal to the nth root of the product of a and b. So how do we multiply radicals of the same orders or indices? To multiply radicals of the same order or indices, use the product law of radicals. So the nth root of a times the nth root of b is equal to the nth root of the product of a and b. Then, simplify by the removal of the nth powers of the radical. So let's have the example. Directions, find the product of the following radicals. So square root of 3 times square root of 5. So applying the product law, we will rewrite the given radicals into a single radical. So we have square root of the product of 3 and 5. Then the product of 3 and 5 is 15. So we have square root of 15. Then check if our radicand can be factored or can be factored out. So since 15 has no perfect square factor, so our final answer is square root of 15. For number 3, we have the square of the sum of 3 and square root of 5. As you can see, the given radical is in the form of squaring of binomials. We will apply the rule of squaring of binomials or the square of the sum of a binomial. So in getting the square of a sum of a binomial, first, square the first term. Next, twice the product of the first and second term. Then, for the last term, square the last term. For number 3, 3 is the first term and square root of 5 is the last term. So applying this rule, we have square the first term, so we have 3 square. Next, twice the product of the first and the second term. So we have 2 times 3 square root of 5. Next, we have square root of 5 square. Then, 3 square is 9. Plus, 2 times 3 square root of 5 will give us 6 square root of 5. Plus, the square of square root of 5 is 5. Paano nakuha ang 5? So, the square of square root of 5, i-write muna natin siya into rational exponents. So, ang equivalent ng square root of 5 sa exponential form is 5 raised to 1 half. Then, yung exponent na 2 dito, ito yung outer exponent na 2. So next, simplify natin itong dalawang exponents by the law of exponents. So 1 half times 2 will give us 2 over 2. So we have 5 raised to 2 over 2. And 2 over 2 is 1. So if the exponent is 1, we do not write it. So the answer is 5. Next, combine the similar terms. So 9 plus 5 will give us 14. Then copy positive 6 square root of 5. So the square of 3 or the square of the sum of 3 and square root of 5 is 14 plus 6 square root of 5. So what about multiplying radicals of different orders or indices? To multiply radicals of different orders, it is necessary to express them as radicals of the same order. So let's have an example. Directions, find the product of the given radicals. So we have square root of 2 times the cube root of 4 times the fourth root of 5. So first, express the given radicals into rational exponents. So square root of 2 will become 2 raised to 1 half power. And cube root of 4 will be written as 4 raised to 1/3 power. And for the fourth root of 5 will be written as 5 raised to 1/4 power. Then get the LCD of the exponents. So what is the LCD of 1 half, 1/3, and 1/4? Okay, 12 is the LCD of 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4. Then, this LCD 12, we will be using this as the denominator of the equivalent fraction for each exponents. So, the equivalent fraction of 1/2 using the LCD 12 is 6 over 12. Because 6 over 12, when we get the lowest term, is 1/2. For 1/3, the equivalent fraction is 4 over 12. And for 1/4, the equivalent fraction is 3 over 12. Then, 2 raised to 1/2 power will be written as 2 raised to 6 over 12 power. And 4 raised to 1/3 power will be written as 4 raised to 4 over 12 power. And 5 raised to 1/4 power will be written as 5 raised to 3 over 12 power. As you can see, the denominators of the exponents are the same. So we can now express this into radicals with the same order. So the denominator 12 of the exponent will be the index in our radical. So 12 root of 2 raised to the 6th power times 4 raised to the 4th power times 5 raised to the 3rd power. As you can see, 4 can still be expressed into 2 raised to the 2nd power. So we have the 12 root of 2 raised to the 6th power, then open and close parenthesis, 2 raised to the 2nd power, ito yung 4. Then copy the exponent 4. Then copy 5 cube. Next, isi-simplify natin to. Isi-simplify natin ang 2 raised to the 2nd power raised to the 4th power. So we have 12 root of, copy 2 raised to the 6th power. Then this 2, copy the base 2, then multiply the exponents 2 and 4. So we have 2 raised to the 8th power. Then copy 5 raised to the 3rd power. Next, as you can see, we have now the same bases, which is 2 raised to the 6th power and 2 raised to the 8th power. So simplify natin yan. So we have 12 root of, so 2 raised to the 6th power times 2 raised to the 8th power will give us 2 raised to the 14th power. Then copy 5 cubed. Next, we're going to break down the radicand into a perfect and non-perfect nth powers. So in this case, we will break down only the factor 2 raised to the 14th power. Kasi siya lang yung magkakaroon ng factor na perfect 12 power. So we have 12 root of, the factors of 2 raised to the 4th power is 2 raised to 12 power times 2 raised to the 2nd power. Then copy 5 cube. Next, itong perfect factor natin, ilalabas natin sa radical. Then, ang may iwan lang yung mga non-perfect 12 powers. So, we have the 12 root of 2 raised to the 12th power is 2. Then, may iwan sa loob ng radical sign ang 2 square and 5 cube. Then, isimplify natin to. So, we have copy 2 here. Then, 12 root of 2 square is 4. Then, the cube of 5 is 125. Next, let's get the product of 4 and 125. So, copy the coefficient 2. Then, we have 12 root of 4 times 125 is 500. So, the product is, or the final answer is 2, 12 root of 500. The fourth operation on radicals is division of radicals. In dividing radicals, we will use the quotient law of radicals. For any real numbers a and b is not equal to 0, and any integer n is greater than 1. If n is even, a is greater than 0. The nth root of the quotient of a and b is equal to the quotient of nth root of a and nth root of b, or the quotient of nth root of a and nth root of b is equal to the nth root of the quotient of a and b. So first, let us discuss how to divide radicals of the same orders or indices. To divide radicals of the same indices or orders, we will use the quotient law of radicals, and we will rationalize the denominator. So let's have the examples. Directions: find the quotient of the following radicals. So number 1, the sixth root of the quotient of 64, x raised to the 12th power, y raised to the 18th power, and w raised to the 24th power, z raised to the 12th power. So first, we will rewrite the given radical in this form, or we will separate the radicand. So we have the sixth root of 64, x raised to the 12th power, y raised to the 18th power, over the sixth root of w raised to the 24th power, z raised to the 12th power. Then next, we will remove the perfect sixth root power into the radical sign. So, the sixth root of 64 is 2. Because 2 raised to 6 is 64. So we have the sixth root of 64 is 2. The sixth root of x raised to the 12th power is x raised to the 2nd power. Sa variable, i-divide lang natin ang exponent ng variable dun sa index. So 12 divided by 6, kaya nakuha ang 2. So for y, or the sixth root of y raised to the 18th power is y cubed. And for the denominator, we have the sixth root of w raised to the 24th power is w raised to the 4th power. And for z, the raised to the 12th power, the sixth root is z squared. So the quotient is 2 x squared y cubed all over w raised to the 4th power z squared. Next is the difference of 3 and square root of 5 all over the sum of the square root of x. As you can see, there is a radical on the denominator. So we will apply the process of rationalizing the denominator. And to rationalize the denominator, we will multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate factor of the denominator. So what is the conjugate factor of square root of 7 plus x? So before we find the square root of the conjugate factor of square root of 7 plus x, let us first define what is pair of conjugates. So a pair of conjugates is a pair of binomials that are the same except that the signs between the terms are opposite. So therefore, the conjugate factor of square root of 7 plus x is square root of 7 minus x. As you can see, the terms are the same. Square root of 7 is square root of 7. X, x. And the sign and the sign between the terms are opposite. So we have positive, negative. So square root of 7 minus x will be, or is the conjugate factor of the denominator, square root of 7 plus x. So this binomial, square root of 7 minus x, will be multiplied to both numerator, 3 minus square root of 5, and denominator, square root of 7 plus x. So ito yun. So look at the denominators. So as you can see, this denominator can be applied, or in getting the product of this denominator, we will apply how to multiply the sum and difference of two binomials. And the product of the sum and difference of two binomials is equal to the difference of the square of the first term, which is square root of 7 squared, and the square of the last term, which is x squared. Then, multiply or get the product of the numerator. In getting the product of the numerator, I will use the FOIL method. So we have 3 times square root of 7 is equal to 3 square root of 7. Then 3 times negative x will give us negative 3x. Then negative square root of 5 times square root of 7 will give us negative square root of 35. Then negative square root of 5 times negative x will give us positive x square root of 5. And for the denominator, so the square of square root of 7 is 7 and or minus x squared. Then check the numerator and the denominator if we can simplify pa. Since there is no similar terms in the numerator, so this is the final answer for the numerator as well as the denominator kasi wala naman na siyang similar terms. Wala na tayong may combine na terms. So the final answer is 3 square root of 7 minus 3x minus square root of 35 plus x square root of 5 all over the difference of 7 and x squared. So what about dividing radicals of different indices or orders? So to divide two radicals of different orders, it is necessary to express them as radicals of the same order. So let's have the example. Directions, find the quotient of the given radicals. So we have square root of 2 divided by the cube root of 2. As you can see, the indices are different. So first, express the given radicals into rational exponents. So square root of 2 will be written as 2 raised to 1/2 power. And for the cube root of 2 will be written as 3 raised to 1/3 power. Next, get the LCD of the exponents 1/2 and 1/3. And the LCD of 1/2 and 1/3 is 6. This LCD 6 will be using as the denominator of the equivalent fraction of 1/2 and 1/3. So the equivalent fraction of 1/2 is 3 over 6 because 3 over 6, when we get the lowest term, it is 1/2. And 1/3, the equivalent fraction using the LCD 6 as the denominator is 2 over 6. So when we get the lowest term of 2 over 6, the result is 1/3. Then, rewrite 2 raised to 1/2 power as 2 raised to 3 over 6 power. And for the denominator, 3 raised to 1/3 power will be written as 3 raised to 2 over 6 power. Then, we can now express the radicals with the same orders. So, we have here, the denominator of the exponent will be the index. So, we have the 6th root of the quotient of 2 raised to the 3rd power and 3 raised to the 2nd power. Next, we will rationalize the denominator. So, applying the process of rationalizing the denominator, we will multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the 6th root of 3 raised to the 4th power. So, the 6th root of 2 raised to the 3rd power times the 6th root of 3 raised to the 4th power is equal to the 6th root of the product of 2 cubed and 3 raised to the 4th power. And for the denominators, we have the 6th root of 3 raised to the 2nd power times the 6th root of 3 raised to the 4th power is equal to the 6th root of 3 raised to the 6th power. Then let's simplify the numerator and the denominator. So for the numerator, we have the 6th root of, so 2 raised to the 3rd power is 8, and 3 raised to the 4th power is 81. And as you can see, our denominator is now a perfect 6th power. So the 6th root of 3 raised to the 6th power is 3. Next, get the product of 8 and 81. So we have the 6th root of, so 8 times 81 is 648 over 3. So this is the final answer. So we are done with the first lesson for week 6. So the second lesson for week 6 is radicals equations. So how do we solve radical equations? So let's have the example. Directions, solve for x. So for number 1, the square root of the sum of x and 8 is equal to 5. So the first step is to eliminate the square root sign or the radical sign by squaring both sides of the equation. So the square of the square root of the sum of x and 8 is x plus 8. And for the right side of the equation, 5 squared is 25. Next, apply the addition property of equality so that 8 will be eliminated, or ang matitira lang ay x. So we have x plus 8 plus negative 8 is equal to 25 plus negative 8. So for the left side of the equation, so x plus 8 plus negative 8 is equal to x. And for the right side of the equation, we have 25 plus negative 8 will give us 17. So x is equal to 17, or the solution set is 17. Then, let's check if our obtained value of x or our solution set is correct. So copy the given equation and substitute our obtained value of x to the given equation. So square root of the sum of, instead of writing x, we will use 17. 17 and 8. Is it equal to 5? Next, square root of 25, or 17 plus 8 is 25. So square root of 25, is it equal to 5? So square root of 25 is 5. So 5 is equal to 5. So therefore, our obtained value of x is correct. So now, let us try to solve a number problem. The number or the square root of the sum of two consecutive odd integers is equal to 6. Find the larger integer. So, solution, let x be the smaller odd integer. And let x plus 2 be the larger integer. Then, let us check what will be our equation based on the problem. So, let us translate this into mathematical equation. So, the square root of the sum of two consecutive odd integers. So, our two consecutive integers represent x and x plus 2 is equal to 6. So, this is our working equation. Then, combine the 2x here in the radicand. So we have the square root of x plus x will give us 2x, and copy positive 2. Then equals 6. Next, eliminate the radical sign. To eliminate the radical sign on the left side of the equation, square the whole equation. So we have the square of the square root of the sum of 2x and 2 will give us 2x plus 2. And the square of 6 is 36. Next, we need to eliminate positive 2 on the left side of the equation. So to eliminate this, apply addition property of equality. So we have 2x plus 2 plus negative 2 is equal to 36 plus negative 2. Then, 2x plus 2 plus negative 2 will give us 2x. And for 36 plus negative 2 will give us 34. And to eliminate 2 as the numerical coefficient of x here, we're going to apply multiplication property of equality by multiplying 1/2 to the whole equation. So we have 1/2 times 2x will give us x. And 34 times 1/2 will give us 17. So x is equal to 17. And x represents the smaller odd integer. If 17 is the smaller integer, so what will be the larger integer? So, since x plus 2 represents the larger odd integer, then by substitution, we have 17 plus 2 will give us 19, and 19 is the larger odd integer. So, radical equation is also helpful in solving problems related to volume. So let us try this one. The radius of a cone with volume and height is given by the formula r is equal to the square root of the quotient of 3b and pi h. Suppose a cone has a radius of 10 centimeters and a height of 25 centimeters. Find its volume using the formula above. Okay, since the volume is not stated in the problem, then we will derive a formula of the volume of a cone using this given formula. So the solution, we have r is equal to the square root of the quotient of 3b and pi h. So first, eliminate the radical sign. So to eliminate the radical sign, we're going to square the whole equations. So the square of r is equal to r square. The square of the square root of the quotient of 3b over pi h is 3b over pi h. Next, we need to eliminate 3 over pi h para ang matira lang sa right side, sa one side of the equation is v. So, to eliminate 3 over pi h, we're going to multiply the whole equation by the reciprocal of 3 over pi h, which is pi h over 3. So, r squared times pi h over 3 will give us pi r squared h over 3. Then, 3v over pi h times pi h over 3 will give us v. So, makakancel out ang 3 here and the denominator here, tsaka yung pi h kasi it is equal to 1. Then, the formula of a volume for a cone is v is equal to pi times r squared times h all over 3 or divided by 3. Next, let's proceed to, or let's go back to the problem. So, what are the given? So, the given are the radius, which is 10 centimeters, the height, which is 25 centimeters, and of course, the pi, which is 3.1416. Then next, substitute this given measurements to the equation for volume. So, we have v is equal to pi times r squared times h all over 3. Then, so for pi, we have 3.1416 times the square of 10 centimeters times 25 centimeters all over 3. Then, the product of 3.1416, the square of 10 centimeters and 25 centimeters is 7,854 cubic centimeters all over 3. So 7,854 divided by 3 will give us 2,618. So, the volume of a cone having the radius of 10 centimeters and a height of 25 centimeters is 2,618 cubic centimeters. Thank you so much sa lahat ng nanood, especially sa aking advisory class sa Elise 9 Antlia, sa hawak kong 9 Lyra at 9 Andromeda, at syempre sa lahat ng grade 9 Elysians. Thank you very much. So once again, I'm Mary Grace B. Manzo.